Hey guys, this is Camilo, and the question of the day today is, what can we learn from a furniture store? I mean, how can a furniture store inspire us and take us to great heights personally? How can it help us achieve prosperity in our lives? How can it help us become and sort of align ourselves with our greater purpose? Interesting question, right? So let me give you a little backtrack story on how that came to be. Last night, my daughter said, Daddy, let's read books. And she's into this kick where she finds all the junk mail, all the phone books, and she thinks it's the coolest thing to read books. Now, mind you, she's 4 years old, so we're not really reading. We're just making up stuff, and we're talking some weird language. Don't ask. Anyway, at some point last night, we're playing before nighttime, and it was my turn to read this book. And this book happens to be a very thick, large, Restoration Hardware catalog, which is a high-end furniture store, kind of on par with like Pottery Barn and Crate and Barrel, Ethan Allen. So I flip the page, and there's this dude, and I'm like, oh my God, who is this dude? And I'm like, God, men are dominating the fashion, the interior design world. What is going on here? And I don't mean any offense. I mean, I'm not sexist by any chance. In fact, I'm kind of a metrosexual myself, but I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, there's so much Photoshop on this dude's face. It's crazy. Anyway, I turned over to the next page and I read this quote. This quote is crazy, all right? Because I'm thinking, what the hell does that mean? And I just want to read it to you. When we are open and giving our light, okay, when we are open and giving our light, we create an endless reflection that outlives our human existence. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? And I'm a creative guy. I've always been a creative professional. So I'm thinking, my gosh, I mean, we're all full of ourselves. I mean, we like to think that we see the world in a way that nobody else can. And sure enough, nobody else does ever understand what we mean. So I keep reading and I realize this dude is the chairman of this furniture chain. Very nice, very high-end, furniture stuff. He's, obviously doing very well for himself. But I start to read the next paragraph, and then I'm blown away. And I want to read it to you so you kind of get the picture why. In regards to the quote I just read, here's what he says. About this time last year, I was inspired to pen the quote above after having dinner with a friend who asked me, with a tone of concern, "How are you?" I answered, "Inspired. More so than at any other time in my life. I believe we are making a difference, creating a ripple." My friend responded, okay, with a look of confusion and doubt. "What, selling furniture?" Shaking my head, I replied, "It's not about the furniture." I went on to explain that by chasing our hopes and dreams, we inspire others to chase theirs. By being creatively courageous and fearlessly fighting for what we believe in, we inspire others to do the same. I continued. By being open and giving of our light, we lift the spirits of others who then reflect that light to another and another. It's a reflection that can be endless and continue long after we leave this planet. And by doing so, then maybe we never left. It's about a lot more than just selling furniture. How awesome is that? Did you get that? If not, rewind and hear that again. Because how cool is it to hear the chairman of a furniture store talking the way you and I talk when we are sort of like interacting in our social circles. I mean, we're so much about personal power and development, and it's such a critical component of our community, our entrepreneurial community, our entrepreneurial home-based business community, because we understand that without personal belief, without higher purpose, we're just people peddling stuff, thinking about only ourselves without offering any value, and that gets you where? Nowhere. So this man is successful because he believes in a higher purpose. And I know we're talking about furniture, and I know we might be talking about the type of cow leather and what type of wood and how we're going to distress it, or what can I do with that piece of tin? And it might seem completely trivial and nuts, but listen, that guy believes in what he does, and he believes that what he does makes a difference, not because he can sell you a piece of furniture, but because by inspiring others to follow their vision the way he follows his, he feels that he can make a difference, and he has, because that quote alone inspired me. And it inspired me to share it with you. So, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to just sell so you can make money without any regard to the person who you say, trust me, let me help you? Or are you here for something bigger? Are you here to make a difference? Are you here to lift yourself up by helping others lift themselves along with you? In our industry, quite frankly, what I've learned, that's the way it works. That is the key. Believe in what you believe in, nurture that faith so that you can project that onto others. And by virtue of doing that, you become someone of leadership status, someone who people will listen to, someone who people will want to follow. And then you can actually begin to change lives. How cool is that? This guy lives by that code. You know that that code works because we talk about it constantly. Dave Wood talks about it constantly. The great leaders of our industry talk about it constantly. It's helped people like Lawrence Tam, Toby Layla, Aaron Rashkin. I mean, anybody, Justin Varangia. I mean, anybody you can think of that you have heard of recently. That's why they are where they are. This is why our teams continue to prosper. That's why we are doing the amazing, fantastic things we're doing, because we live by a different code and we are steadfast in maintaining our integrity and our vision and our purpose. And I just thought that was really cool to hear it from a guy who sells furniture, basically. So cool. So I hope you got something really, really powerful out of it. And as always, if there's anything I can ever do to help you break free, break through, and get to that next level, if you're struggling, then stop and end it, because there's a better way and we can show you how. We can show you how. Thank you very much for spending some time with me, and we'll do it again very soon. See you later.